In this question, Azifah has saving of 7,000 ringgit and wants to buy an iPhone that costs 8,000 ringgit. To determine which option is more financially wise, I calculated both options and compared the result. First, I calculate option 1. The principal amount P is 7,000 ringgit. The interest rate is 5.5%, which is equal to 0.055. The interest is compounded semi-annually, so M equals 2. The investment period is 2 years. I use the compound interest formula. S equal P multiplied by open bracket 1 plus J divided by M close bracket raised to the power of N. After substitute the values into the formula, I obtain a future value of 7,802 ringgit and 35 cents. Next, I calculate the interest M using the formula. I equals S minus P. Therefore, 7,802 ringgit and 35 cents minus 7,000 ringgit equals 802 ringgit and 35 cents. This means that the interest in after 2 years is 800 ringgit and 35 cents. Next, I calculate option 2. The loan amount P is 1,000 ringgit. The interest rate is 7%, which is equal to 0.07. The loan period is 2 years. I use the compound interest formula. S equals P multiplied by open bracket 1 plus I close bracket raised to the power of N. After substitute the values into the formula, I obtain a total repayment amount of 1,144 ringgit and 90 cents. Next, I calculate the interest charged using the formula. I equals S minus P. Therefore, 1,144 ringgit and 90 cents minus 1,000 ringgit equals 144 ringgit and 90 cents. This means that the interest charged for the loan is 144 ringgit and 90 cents. In conclusion, option 2 is the more financially wise choice for Azifah. Under option 1, her saving grow to 7,802 ringgit and 35 cents with an interest earned of 802 ringgit and 35 cents. However, this amount is still not enough to purchase the 8,000 ringgit iPhone. Under option 2, the total repayment is 1,144 ringgit and 19 cents with an interest cost of only 144 ringgit and 19 cents. Therefore, option 2 is the better financial decision because Azifah.
For this question, this has two options. The first option is to sell the 15 gross dinars today for 30,500 ringgit and invest the money in a saving plan that offers 3.5% interest compounded quarterly. The second option is to wait for 2 years and sell the gold for 36,000 ringgit. To calculate the future value of the investment, we use the compound interest formula. S equal P bracket 1 plus I close bracket power N. S equal 30,500 multiplied by bracket 1 plus 0.035 over 4 close bracket power A. After conclusion, the future value is approximately 32,700 ringgit and 54 cents. Comparing both options, sell now and invest 30,700 ringgit and 54 cents. Wait for 2 years and sell the gold 36,000 ringgit. Sign 36,000 ringgit is greater than 32,700 ringgit and 54 cents. The better financial decision for Nadine is to wait for 2 years and sell the gold dinar. The difference between the two options is 3,298 ringgit and 46 cents. Now, we will move on to the question A. We need to calculate the total accumulated amount in Kira's education fund by the time her daughter turns 18. Now, I'm using the compound interest formula. S equal 30,000 ringgit Malaysia multiplied by open bracket 1 plus 0.042 divided by 12 close bracket raised to the power of 96. After calculation, S equals 41,955 ringgit and 55 cents. For the additional deposit, S equals 6,500 ringgit Malaysia multiplied by open bracket 1 plus 0.042 divided by 12 close bracket raised to the power of 36. After the calculation, S equals 7,371 ringgit and 21 cents. Therefore, the total accumulated amount is 41,955 ringgit and 55 cents plus 7,371 ringgit and 21 cents, which equals 49,226 ringgit and 76 cents. Now, we will move on to the question B. Determine the total interest earned throughout the investment period. I equals S minus P. I equals 49,326 ringgit and 76 cents minus 36,500 ringgit. Therefore, I equals 12,826 ringgit and 76 cents. Now, I will explain the last question, which is C. As you can see at the question, Kia expect her daughter university expenses to be at least 50,000 ringgit Malaysia. However, the accumulated amount is only 49,326 ringgit and 76 cents. Therefore, the fund is not sufficient because it is short by 673 ringgit and 24 cents.
For question 9A, find the monthly payment. First, divide the inheritance 2.6 million in the ratio 6:4. 6 plus 4 equals to 10. For Hyundai share, 6/10 times 2.6 million equals to 1.56 million. The factory cost 4.5 million. So, the loan amount is next. Divide A by the value calculate to get the monthly payment. Now is the final answer we substitute is K for 0.21, for monthly compounder is 12, and T for the years is 30. Next, we use the annuity formula and substitute all the values into the formula to find the monthly payment. 4.5 million minus 1.56 million equals to 2.64 million. The answer is 11,014 ringgit and 42 cents. Next, for question B, find the total interest charge. We use the following formula. I equals to NR minus A. I, where I is total interest charge, N is total number of monthly, 30 years times 12 months equals to 316. R is monthly payment amount, A original loan amount. Next, substitute the value into the formula. I equals to 316 times monthly payment amount minus original amount. Next, the final answer is 1,025,190 cents. Next, for question C, the question asks for the total amount Hyulin has to pay on the fourth payment to settle the outstanding arrears. Use a formula S, where S is future value, R monthly payment amount, I is period interest, and its total missed payment equals to 4. Next is calculate step. Substitute the value into the formula S. Next is solve the bracket. Lastly is a final calculation. The answer is for 44,173 ringgit and 47 cents. For the last question is 1B. The question asks for the settlement amount required to clear the loan balance immediately after making payment for 25 years. Since the total loan period is 30 years, the remaining period is 5 years. 30 minus 35 is 5 years. To find the settlement amount, we calculate the present value of an annuity for the remaining 16 months. First is formula used is A, where A present a value, R monthly payment, I is original, period rate is K over M, 0.021 over 12, and remaining number of monthly payment 5 times 12 equals to 16. Step 2, simplify the interest rate, I, and period is N. Solve inside the bracket. Lastly is final calculation. The final answer is 626,886 cents.
Question analysis. Gold S RM 50,000, monthly deposit R RM 600, annual interest rate 3.6%. Compounding monthly. Problem. We need to find number of monthly deposit, which is N. Step 1. Formula setup and conversion. Convert annual rate to monthly I. Substitute value into annuity formula. Convert annual rate to monthly. Substitute value into formula. And lastly, we have to simplify it. For step 2, we have to do algebra and longs to find N. Multiply by 0.003. Add 1. Solving for N using logs. Step 3. Conclusion and final answer. Interpretation N must be a whole number deposit, so we have to run up. Conclusion, Idora must make 75 monthly deposit. Final answer, Idora must make 75 full monthly deposit to accumulate at least RM 50,000.